Bum, 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 bum. Episode 20, wrapping up season 1, Adrift. This is crazy. You know, we talked about it a little bit last time. It was the 20th episode was coming up, and actually, right quick, let me turn my do not disturb off so I can be all yours for the remainder of this episode. I am so happy everybody's tuning in. I'm so happy that I've done this for 20 episodes, that we've had this conversation going and many different themes. It's been super cool. And I'm super excited to have Calema on today. She's actually multifaceted individual and really just knows how to bring joy into every space that she's in. So today we're going to talk about the joy of joy and remembering to smile. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I'm sure she'll be on shortly. And I do apologize in advance. There's this weird thing happening. Yep, that just happened. I turned blue. I think it's because I'm wearing this yellow shirt for some reason. It's like throwing my phone off. Oh, I'm blue again. Ironic. Blue is sad. Well, I'm happy. And I'm happy you guys are here. So thank you for joining me. Calema will be on shortly, but in the meantime, I don't know, it's kind of crazy. Like, I feel like sometimes it feels really challenging to be happy, you know, to be truly happy. And not that I think that you should be happy, you know, nonstop, because then, you know, you would be manic, and you don't want to be manic. That's a disorder. You know, you want to feel different emotions, but I do feel like, you know, sometimes we forget to kind of enjoy things. Sometimes we forget to just appreciate, and I know it's so cliche, like just appreciate, smell the roses, but it's just, there's a little bit more than that going on. And so this episode is about that. This episode is about tuning into that kind of energy. And there, look, Calema just joined. Oh, and she just requested. I just wanted, right before I accept. Oh, I'm blue again. I just want to thank everybody who's tuning in. Berno, Cara, Adrian, Mr. Mellifluous. Ooh, that sounds like a fun name. And hi, Asky. What's up? I haven't seen you hi in a minute. All right, Calema, let's bring. And 3, 2. I'm blue again. What is going on? What's happening? Oh, hello. All right, come on. Let's set this baddie up. Oh, the irony. Hello.
Hi.
Calema.
How are you?
Good. I said irony just because you have a black backdrop, and for some reason my phone is making me blue. So I'm just like, okay, universe, is that? Yeah. You see, I'm blue.
That's interesting because I can't even see myself. But okay, that's interesting. But all right, I'm gonna trust your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Very strange. Very strange indeed. But Calema, thank you for joining us. Thank you so much. Ooh, Manhattan Mannequin, the flex. Yes, Calema, you are looking fabulous. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this episode today. You know I had to have you on. We were talking earlier, and
Yes.
we didn't stop laughing and smiling and showing gratitude.
Okay.
It was like, Calema, stop.
Yes.
One moment. We gotta
I can't though. I can't.
I was like, just 1 minute. Don't be happy for just a moment.
All right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there it is.
What's that?
It's a little not like you.
I know. I know.
Manhattan Mannequin, thank you for tuning. I really appreciate everybody who's on today. And Calema. Okay. Episode 20. I told you before, this is the season finale, and I wanted to end it with a little bit of a joyous bang, if you will. You know? Mm-hmm. And what better way than to talk about joy? You know?
Amen. Yes.
Yeah. So for those of the people who are on today who don't quite know you, which their shame, their fault, because you're fantastic. Let's get them up to speed. I know I'm blue.
Okay.
It's crazy.
That's okay. You look good. Yes.
So, Calema, the gifted and multifaceted Carlene Calema Taylor is the teller of people's truth, and in some cases, someone's fantasy. She uses her body as an instrument to celebrate what it means to live and live a life, and the power and strength it takes to be just ordinary. Hint, she's an actress. With a decade of experience as a thespian, the scope of her work covers a wide net, including, but not limited to, film, TV, documentary, music video, and stage. Some noteworthy honors, and this is the good stuff right here. 7 Adelco Awards in a musical, Flambeau Ensemble, Best Diaspora Feature, African Movie Academy for Kingston Paradise, and Festival Programmers Award, Los Angeles Pan-African Film Festival for Kingston Paradise. So her instrument, which we have already established is her body and her movements, also serves as a visual aid for creating works of art through poses and a live exhibition of fashion on a plus-size physique. She has benefited from the tutelage of the Queen of Pose herself, supermodel Coco Rocha, and is words and is words come out words. It's almost like I don't want this to end. Gather yourself. Supermodel Coco Rocha and is keenly aware of her body. Simply put, she's an artist. Calema is also a very proud mama and mompreneur in the making. Calema, we welcome you to Adrift.
Oh, my absolute pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And my pleasure as well. Thank you so much for being here today. And this outfit, we have to talk about it because I'm obsessed. Like, let's because I'm not entirely. Maybe I need to turn my brightness up because I don't even know all the way what I'm looking at. Let's see. What are we looking at? What is this outfit? It's beautiful.
Well, you know something? I deliberately decided to go with what I'm wearing today, as opposed to the blank canvas that usually you're supposed to present as a model and a lot of the times as an actress. I deliberately decided to go with this because of our topic today. We're talking about joy. And you said, remember to smile. And I thought to myself, well, what makes me smile? You know, what brings me joy? A lot of things bring me joy. And one such thing is the way I look or how something makes me feel. And this red lipstick, which I rarely do, it just goes pop and reminds me to smile. Gives my teeth a little whiter look. So it's all a part of what's happening. You know, remember to smile. White reflects the teeth, makes them look even whiter. And this just feels cozy and love and, you know, all that stuff.
It looks like, you know, some garments, they feel like a hug on you. They feel like this warm, fuzzy sensation. And that's in Manhattan.
This reminds me of a pillow fight. Reminds me of like a pillow fight. I mean, only good feelings come from a pillow fight, right?
This is an amazing business idea right now. You know how they have that trampoline place where you kind of like go and you trampoline your life away? They should do that with pillow fights. Or they should have a pillow fight night. Could you imagine trampolining, bouncing around
oh my God.
pillows and just smack house?
Yes. I actually can imagine that.
I know, a little bit, right? It's like a little bit. It seems exciting. But yes, okay, so Manhattan Mannequin is saying it's Dior. Is it Dior?
It's not Dior, darling. It's Dior-esque.
I love it.
But you know something? That is true. In fact, this is their aesthetic. They do like these kinds of things. Yes.
Yeah, that's sort of 100%. So just tuning back in, because the reason why I wanted to have you on is ever since I've met you, it's always been this joyous sort of experience, this joyous moment. And we were, in fact, talking about that, so we were in Brooklyn, and we were at and I'm so happy that we had a chance to talk about it, because when I'm shooting, which brings me joy, when I'm shooting, I'm like so into it, and I'm thinking about all of the, you know, the different factors and elements of the photo that I want, and I'm very much in that zone. And so I'm shooting a young gentleman. He looks fantastic. He looks great. His name, one more time. I know you know it. Give it to me.
Chemo. Chemo. Chemo the model. Yeah.
And I was just, so focused on him. I love this photo. It was like very colorful, very vibrant. And you came over and you were like trying to get into it. And I was like, just wait one moment and finish up and bring you on. You jumped right in, made yourself readily available and known in the moment. And it's crazy because it's not obtrusive. It was really welcome to feel that kind of energy, to feel that kind of blast of like, hello, I'm here, bask in my ambiance too a little. You feel a little bit of this ambiance. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is amazing. This is so good.
Ah, thank you. You're very kind.
No,
I just knew I wanted to be in that photo. The show was over and folks were coming up, congratulating me, talking to me, and this probably is a little rude, but I just started tuning people out because I could hear your voice directing him. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I excused myself. And then that was when I approached you and said, may I get in this photo? And, because I just knew that, I mentioned this to you earlier, that there's a way to direct people and there's another way to tell people what to do.
right.
But maybe my acting background gave me the kind of familiarity. But you just knew it was very clear to me that you had something in your head and there was a vision that you needed to realize and you knew what needed to be altered so that vision would come to reality.
Mm. And you felt that you had a little extra piece that I didn't quite have yet. And
Yeah, a little bit of oomph,
if I'm to say, if we go back and we look at my Instagram, I was telling you this earlier, go back and look at my Instagram, the photo is not just of Chemo the model by himself. All the way towards this man. It is the photo where you joined in, and I really feel like filled in this space that needed to be filled in, and from a space perspective, but also from an energy perspective, it was like it really told a story. It felt like a scene. Going back to your point about theater, and I was just like, this is perfect. Just the right thing, just what the doctor ordered.
Exactly. I love
So,
it. And I was very thrilled to see that was what you posted. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. If you could just brush a few feathers off your shoulder, maybe just one or two.
Yes. That was Queen Mother.
As DJ so eloquently put it. And my father's list, thank you for joining in, Laura. Monkey, Erica, I always get so excited when I see you. But so that's another thing, it's crazy. That's another thing that makes me smile is people who fill my heart with joy, like just the people that have a certain way about them, and it's wild because even after that first day, we connected, socials and what have you, but we didn't like really have a chat. And then I saw you at another event with DJ, and even
Essence Fashion House, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Fashion House. Ever since then, it's been like I've actually gotten to know you. You weren't just a person in a photo. You weren't just an amazing energy, but you became a person in my life. And that was so fantastic as well because I got to know what made that photo so exceptional, a piece of what made that photo so exceptional. And that was in getting to know you, having the conversation we've had, and then we did a shoot together.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So that shoot's on Instagram, and you were just moving and dancing, and it was like I struck gold. This person this person has this amazing energy, has poses, and as evidenced now by Coco Rocha and the training camp that you did, even though that was after, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. Coco was after you, actually. Yes.
Right, Coco. I want you to know that. But so tell me, what brings you joy? What brings joy to your life? I want to know because, again, this energy is so magnificent.
Oh, thank you ever so much. But something, I started talking about just things that bring you joy, things that make you feel like you're on top of the world. Because clearly, a lot of things are going on. We all have stressors. We all have a lot of things going on. But how you look, how I'm made to feel. People make me feel good. People, one such person I'm talking to, just saying. Music, yes. Music, dancing. It's like, that's a way, it's very cathartic for me to, move my body to, in fact, to be honest, I was playing some music in the background, and I literally cut Alexa off when you hit the accept button, because I wanted to be in that frame of mind, that that high on life type of situation. Um, but yeah, so it's my son brings me joy. Oh my God, my son. Caleb, if you're watching, mommy loves you. Okay, such a mother,
We all love you,
right?
Caleb.
Oh, but he embodies love, and he shows you what it means to like truly love something outside of yourself. And I don't think I really understood in its fullness what that meant until he came along. It really is beautiful, and it always brings me joy, no matter how upset I am or what's going on or how stressful times get. So yeah, those are a few of the things that my artistry
Yeah.
brings me joy, which I'm pretty sure for you is the same. Because when you started out the bio by saying I'm a teller of people's truths, and believe me, they say acting is behaving truthfully under imagined circumstances. And
Mm.
so that's Meisner, not me, please. I can't take credit. Yeah. Though I would like to submit an addendum, if you will. I
Yeah.
will say imaginary circumstances for other folks, or maybe for the actor, but
Mm.
very real for the character that you're playing.
Right.
And so when you tell people's truth, and I talk about just being ordinary, especially in today's day and age, right? With Black Lives Matter and what's going on. Did you register to vote? All of those lovely things. Um, um,
Yeah.
right. So sometimes it's hard to find joy in those things, and just to be regular every day, it's hard. But I find joy in telling somebody's truth, however mundane it might seem. And to bring believability to that character, and I'm not just talking acting now. You and I spoke earlier about how I approach shoots and what my prep work is. So I can create the best vision that whoever has, the photographer, clients, whoever has in mind. But yeah, those are some ways that, yeah, I find joy.
Absolutely. And so I see here, just as a side note, Calema X says register to vote. And yes, people, please. I'm not going to say who for, but I'm pretty sure you got them. So,
Mm-hmm.
but,
Uh-huh.
because we don't delve into too many politics here, but we do
I
delve
know.
into what we like to.
Civic duty. Just civic duty, that's all.
You know what I mean? Go and vote.
Mm.
Make a
Yeah.
what's a
Statement.
yeah, yeah. Go ahead and do it. But
Show your power. Show your power.
show you that, flex that.
I
That's
don't
what
know
I'm
how
worried.
big mine get, but
Well, what I did was I pull it up a little bit.
oh, I see. Oh, mine don't go nowhere.
But so for me, that's another thing that brings me joy, is to not take things so seriously all the time. And
Mm,
it is a challenging thing to do given the set of circumstances. It is a challenging thing to do, and it's not to make light of challenging experiences, but it is to kind of remind yourself to almost humble yourself. I was having this
mhm,
conversation recently about the definition of humble,
mm,
and the person I was talking with thought that humble meant to humiliate, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's humility, not to humiliate.
mhm.
Humiliate has this connotation of bringing another person down, whereas humility is recognizing that you're putting yourself on a pedestal, and it's like, all right,
Right.
let's come back
Getting
down.
off that soapbox.
That's right. You know what I mean? So I was having this conversation, and it made me realize, not everybody can do that. Not everybody can take themselves away from themselves, almost the prison of their own self-reflective thought, their self-reflective version of themselves. They only see themselves in the mirror, and that's all they see. That's unfortunate. Whereas I look in the mirror, one day I think I'm handsome, then I think I'm hideous, then I think I'm funny. There's a lot. There's so much. We as people, we're so many different things. We can't just see ourselves as one thing. And that's why I think acting, right, is such a fantastic.
I just want to touch a little bit on your point of humility. I think a lot of us sometimes feel like we have to put somebody down to feel good. And that's actually the opposite of humility,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's recognizing somebody's power and aligning yourself with that, with the power that's within you also. Yeah. So excuse me, because you can be humble and still be confident. A lot of times people say, "Oh, she's so humble," but then maybe she should show a little more confidence. Maybe she should be a little more assertive. No, you can actually have confidence. And just because Chadwick Boseman just left us, Wakanda forever.
Always.
Um, yes, um, that to me is somebody who is just operating on a serious frequency that is very aware of his abilities and is very confident in them, but he doesn't need to showcase them and throw them in anybody's face,
Right.
to show you just how great he is, and his work speaks for itself. It's that kind of that's how I see humility.
Right. Right. And we were talking about abundance on a previous episode, and I do believe it was actually with Laura, who my father's list on here. And this, to kind of give a little bit more depth to that, I also feel like when you're filled with an abundance of joy, filled with abundance of life and so much spirit to give, it kind of just comes naturally. But when you're limited in that, you almost get this sort of complex where it's like, I have to show you every little bit that I have.
Mhm. Mhm.
I need to
Mhm.
push it. I need to push this agenda that I might be
Mhm.
better than I actually am. But take that time. Go back in yourself. Like,
Mhm.
remember what it is about you that makes you special. For example,
Mhm.
somebody who likes to argue a lot. My dramatic people, and I'm not talking theatrical.
Okay.
Not talking theatrical, although they may appear to be. I think that people who argue a lot, they actually do have value. We all do, of course. But
Of
their
course.
particular value, just this example's off the top of my head. I would go so far as to say that their particular value is that they're able to present a point, argue that point, present facts, and kind of frame it in a certain way where it's all neatly organized. So while that person is telling you, you're dumb for XYZ, they're actually showcasing a talent that they're not using to the best of their ability. And so you take a
Hmm.
step back and you look at it that way, and all of a sudden it's like, all right, I don't like what this person is saying, but they do hold value.
Oh, absolutely. So I like that you use the word drama because they're very performative,
Yes.
and it's sad. It's sad because while they're great and they have wonderful talent to present this data, like you said, and organize it and convince you, sometimes inside they don't believe for
Oh,
themselves.
yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, a lot of us are afraid of spending time with ourselves. But I do want to submit one other person who I know who's quite humble,
Oh.
Alessandro.
Who's that? Who's that? Where? I don't know this person. I've never heard of
You, Fresco, like I cannot believe you just oh my gosh, you sometimes if somebody's are you gonna start getting red? Oh, but you should. Like somebody will go by you and just think you're the simplest of person. Yeah, yeah, okay. I mean, maybe cute to look at, but when you open your mouth, like the way you just the way you speak, the way you think, I did not know when I met you that you have a PhD in excuse me, what is it again?
Masters.
Oh,
Masters.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I would
But
love
even
for people
so,
to believe that.
but even so, that's the definition of humility, Fresco. It's just knowing your power and not having to flaunt it in anybody's face. And if the need arises, then the need arises, and they'll learn that about you as time goes. Yeah.
Dude, thank you for saying that. I have certainly been humbled in my life multiple times, and I have accepted it. You know,
Mhm.
it's the hardest part as well about being discovering your own humility is letting somebody tell you, hey, this is the honest truth about how I feel about you and how your actions are, and accepting that for what it is. You know,
Mm.
people are definitely going to, as you said before, they'll break you down for not a pleasant or positive reason. But there are people
Mm.
who are good intentioned who are just trying to get you to see that, hey, you're not always the greatest. Yeah.
Though you might think so.
Right. You know what I mean? And that's the thing is like I've been in those positions where I thought I was right. I was so certain I was right. And that
Mm.
right person came along and was like, hey, you're not right. In fact, right doesn't really exist. Like everything kind of exists on a gray spectrum and you don't have all the answers. When those moments happen, those are the best moments I honestly have ever had and that I value more than anything. Because
Hmm.
I feel like it's perception.
It's not my term, but I follow Damon from Shark Tank.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he has this saying that he tells all the time, and I don't remember where he got it from, but he'll always say something like, everybody in life is either gonna be humbled or are already humble. So if you haven't already been humbled, it's coming. That's all I'm gonna say. I sure know I've dealt with that.
That's right. Yeah. But then again, like once you've accepted it, all of a sudden the world just becomes a freer place.
Oh
Because
my goodness.
it's a burden to try and be right all the time. It's a burden.
Mm.
It's so exhausting. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to know everything. Like
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
exhausting. You know, like there's a what is it? You're much better with names. Clearly, there was this philosopher I remember studying, and he and back then philosophers were everything. They were doctors. They were this. They were that. Now
Mm.
one trick ponies. But he said, well, not all. My people aren't. I love you guys. Um, but no, he goes and says, the greatest thing that I ever learned was that I know that I don't know. And that hit me. That hit me in a real intense way because knowing that you don't know, again, it becomes so freeing. And once you have that freedom, then you could let other things into your life, such as joy.
And it's the starting point for
Yeah,
improving and learning.
yeah.
Yes. And
Like
gaining wisdom. Hmm.
like let all the silliness and the nonsense go. Like, guess what? You're wrong, bro. Like it happened. It's okay. And maybe you're blushing, maybe you feel bad about it. You're like, oh, I'm being humiliated. No, you're being humbled, my friend. And it's all right. By the way, Sabine Pole, miss you, Joey. Who wants to write all the time? Who wants to be right all the time? I miss you too.
Nobody.
Yeah, I don't. And thank you, everybody, for all the comments thus far. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Kalema. I just wanted to make sure I
Oh
said
no,
what's up,
please.
everybody.
Oh.
We got some friends out here. Thank you, guys. But yeah, I find that joy becomes challenging because you're filled with all these other self-defeating thoughts. Like how do you find space for joy when you're telling yourself that you're not worthy or you're not valuable or that nobody,
Mm.
when all of those things aren't true? Where do you find the time for it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm reminded of the very first thought I had when you invited me on your show.
Ah.
Yes. And I was like, me? Moi? What do I have? And then I had to snap out of it
Mm.
because what I am is enough, and nobody can offer the world what Kalima can, you know.
That is,
Nobody can offer the world what Joey can, or
yeah.
anybody else on this list can.
Or,
Yeah.
Alessandro, whoever that is. Alessandro.
Alessandro. Whoever he is.
But no, but that's the thing is like, and it's starting to become cliche because I hear more people say it, but this phrase, just be yourself because everybody else is taken.
Hmm.
It's so simple, But the fact of the matter is, everybody else literally is taken. The only
Mm-hmm.
personality that you can offer is the mix of your facial features with your personality, with your soul, with your shoe size,
Mm-hmm.
your favorite color, and your star sign. Like all those infinite different variables,
Mm-hmm.
you. And nobody
Mm-hmm.
else does that. Even if,
Yeah.
maybe humans have like the same nose or eyebrows. Just didn't
Tongue
come.
print is different, and
Yeah.
and fingerprints are different, even in the twins.
Yeah, even in twins, that's right. Even their fingerprints are different. Like, just be you. That's another frame. High school. Did you go to high school?
Yes.
I just wasn't sure if it was called something different. But so everybody has that sort of high school story of like, wanting to be with the cool kids or being a cool kid or getting invited to the parties and wanting to be to us. Not everybody. I mean, some people don't, which I applaud them. But a lot of people I wind up having this conversation with high school, they want to be a part of the it crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And I was one of those people. I wanted to be popular. Not that I wanted to be popular, I just wanted to be liked, you know?
No.
Be liked. And I remember going on this journey to try and make myself a more likable person. And I ran into really big dilemmas
Uh-oh.
because I realized I was trying to get everybody to like me.
Hmm.
And that's hard because not everybody's taste is the same,
Amen.
you know? And so the journey continued. So then I was like, okay, how can I make everybody like me, knowing that not everybody likes the same kind of person? And then,
Impossible.
yeah, but I tried. But I did try, and it was very challenging. And to a certain extent, I succeeded, but here's where it all went wrong. Everybody else liked me. Everybody else.
Did you like you though?
No, I hated myself. Oh my God, I hated. I was so. It was such like it was just like being right all the time. It's like it's impossible. It's so much work and effort. Then you have to remember who you
Keep up.
were to which person.
Uh-huh.
It's like screw it. Like who am I? Let's just go back to that. Let's find that. So I wanted to bring that up because again, where was the space for my joy when I was concerned about somebody else's joy? Yeah.
Wow. I'm so sorry, but I didn't have that experience as a kid.
Because
I
you
had
were.
my fair share of struggles, but I was okay with being laughed at. Maybe I'm weird. I was okay with not being liked. I was a prefect. I don't know what you call them here. I guess it's the person who is in charge of making sure that other students do what they're supposed to do. So that person is never liked. That person
Yeah.
is never liked. I was,
Well,
I
we call
was,
you the narc.
oh boy. I was okay with people not liking me. That was okay. It was always fine for me. Um I'm not sure why. This is how I but this is just how I was. I was called all kinds of things. And I just laughed. I was called Olive because I was super skinny. Can you imagine? But I was Olive, like Olive and Popeye. That's what they used to
I
call
was like
me.
trying to think. I was like, olives are pretty round.
Oh no, no. Like Olive and Popeye. Yeah. So I was super thin, and so they had a name. At one point, they called me Nanny because, not Nanny like a babysitter, but you know how we have our founding fathers here. We have our national heroes back home, and Nanny is the most resilient, rebellious one of our best leaders that carried us through to independence. She's Nanny of the Maroons, so it's that Maroon tribe mentality. And they used to call me her because I would wrap my hair up and do a lot of her like dances and stuff like that. So I was fine with being different, if you will. So I never had that struggle, but the joy, to find joy, I think it was because I was involved in the arts, because all of that nanny stuff was either through acting or I know I danced for my school.
Mhm.
So it was just always me exploring the arts, and it gives you the opportunity to be laughed at and be okay with it.
You won your school pageant? Is that true?
Yes. So in okay, so in tertiary education, I'm a trained teacher, by the way, and
Ooh,
so yeah, so
this
that's
is
the one
very
I won, and the one before that for high school, I was first runner up. Yeah.
oh. Well, I can see how that was possible.
Yeah,
So I'm
yeah,
sure that
I
you
was
never.
most congenial. People, yeah, I was most congenial because I was always, you remember I talked about recognizing somebody else's power? I was
Yeah.
always the person who was fine, like I said, with being seen as different. And if you thought you were different, I'm always that girl saying, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful," or "That's a wonderful dress," and I meant it. And people realized and knew that I was very authentic. I was very genuine. It wasn't coming from some weird place of getting people to like me or something. I was really genuine because for whatever the reason is, I just felt like if something is beautiful, you can tell somebody. Maybe I'm crazy.
You know what's crazy? I actually have adopted that more recently, and it's wild how much people are not used to it. How almost like they're not.
No.
It's like you look really great. Never say you look great today. By the way, just a pro tip: don't
Uh-huh.
ever say you
Yes.
look great today, because the implication, as I'm sure you all know, is you look busted yesterday.
Oh my, yes, yes, for sure.
Do not
Yes.
today. But no, 100%. And I wanted to kind of touch on that because you said that you're always the person kind of complimenting people and kind of, elevating others. I have this theory I've been kind of thinking about, and I kind of feel like energy definitely is meant to be exchanged. And that's not new. Other people have said that before. But I
Hmm.
also feel like if energy doesn't get exchanged, if you just leave it within yourself, it turns almost poisonous in a sense. It
Mm.
kind of turns inward and has adverse effects. I think if you don't express to others how you feel about them and care about them, then it just sits there and it
Hmm.
rots. You know, and I've noticed, especially at the beginning of COVID, where I didn't really have a choice but to kind of sit with myself and sit with my thoughts, and I didn't have that sort of interconnectivity. I struggled with that. I found myself just
Hmm.
sinking deeper and deeper, and then I realized, you can call people and phone call. Like, so I would do that, and I found myself uplifting again, and I felt myself coming back out of
You feel better, and it
you
makes you feel better.
too.
Yeah, it's amazing. That
Yeah.
energy rubs off. Just the care. Yeah. People want to know that they're cared for, that they're loved, that they're being seen, that they're pretty, that they're smart, and it's never enough to hear it once, twice, three times, as many times as possible.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's
So.
what we're saying. People crave being seen as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
too, we're social beings, and then it kind of calls into question this whole idea about like, what if we do all come from the same source? Like even as bodies, physical living beings, even though I'm Alessandro Joey Fresco and every other name under the sun, and you are Kalema Carlene Taylor, Carlene Kalema Taylor, even if you are these individual people, if we are from this grand whole source, then it would only make sense that we would want that connection. We would want
Connection. Yeah.
interconnectivity throughout
Mhm.
the day. Even though our physical bodies are separate, what really is that? What is a physical body? I think we're connected right now. The way that we talk, the way that we relate.
Absolutely. And there are different levels of connection. I mean, I'm no scientist, by a long shot, but science will,
But you
but right? But they'll tell you just touch and how many hugs we need to
can.
be happy. How many, and that's why I spoke about my son earlier and how he is a part of my joy. Oh my God. the absolute best kisses ever, like ever, and hugs. you know but I'm just saying, like, we need touch, we need to feel loved, and we feel love in a lot of different ways. We from being understood, that that's a part of love. All of those kinds of things, and those are the things that bring us joy. We feel valued, we feel important.
Right. And we were just talking about the people who always want to be right. And I think that what you just said is part of that issue, is that they want to be recognized. They want to be appreciated, valued as an intelligent person with valuable insight. And so
Hmm.
they try. That's their attempt to get people to love them, get people to like them. And it's almost sad in a way, because they're trying so hard to get something that's free, you know?
Mm.
You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to, I mean, arguably you could pay for it, but I don't think that's the same. You know, might
Pseudo joy, pseudo joy.
yeah, well, it's also, similar kind of response. This idea of every time you get a text message or a like or a comment on your,
Mm.
your phones, it's really just that.
Like a drug.
Yeah, it feels
Hmm.
good. Your endorphins are like, but only for a moment, only for
Uh-huh.
the smallest moment. But a hug, especially when you really need one and the person really gives it to you, it's like you could sit
Hmm.
there for like a few seconds, maybe
Hmm.
a minute.
Mm.
Like a
Yes.
really good, like minute long hug.
Hey, what about one of those hugs with the sniff and the smell and the squeeze?
Dude, hugs are so good. I love hugs. Honestly, fuck COVID, man. Like I'm such a hugger, and I'm just like, to do this now. Like, even like, this
Yeah.
is my attempt at
No,
connectivity. Is can I at least get an elbow? I'm pretty sure, like,
that's something.
like ah, hugs are so good, man. And
Hmm.
especially,
Hmm.
hugs can definitely go too far, but there's like the people who have treated it like an art, right?
Uh-huh.
There's people where they hug you and they tap you on the shoulder. One of
Church brother hug?
Huh?
Church brother, church sister hug? The one where you go off to the side and you go tap tap?
Yeah, one of the, so there's that, which is like, all right, why are we even doing this? That's not But then there's the other one where it's like a person holds you for a minute,
Embraces you.
yeah, and then they give you a little pat, just like a hey, I needed this, you needed this, this is all good.
Hmm.
Same action,
Joy.
same pat.
Joy reciprocated, yes.
Exactly. And JFGB3624, that sounds like an AIM name. Hello. As well.
Hi. Hello.
It's me. Carlos is sleeping, so maybe he didn't get to hear Mama Love You.
Oh, he didn't get to see Mama Loves Him. Okay.
He knows, though. He knows.
He does, yes.
It's crazy you're talking about kids, because I'm going to be very vague and not go into a whole lot of detail about this. But there may or may not be a child that a person close to me that I've been hanging out with, I've been spending time with, and this child is actually adorable, like super sweet, like smiles and runs to me when he sees me and
Uh-huh.
my leg, like that's a whole nother level. And somebody hugs your leg,
Uh-huh.
it's so little that they
Uh-huh.
can't even like reach the
Uh-huh.
shoulder. And I'm just like, because I didn't think I was a kid person, to be honest.
I want one. Are you screaming that right now? Is that
I'm
what's happening?
I'm not going to go so far as to say that, but I will say that a hug from a child is something very different. Like the warmth
Mm-hmm.
of the child is something very different, because it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know that it's coming from a place of absolute sincerity, absolute
Mm-hmm.
purity. Like, if a child does not like you, there's something wrong with you. Like,
Yeah, they are the best litmus test. Yes, you're right.
100%. And it's like, yeah, like this kid like smiles and runs at me and like holds me, and I'm like, The ice around my heart is beginning to melt. What is what's this?
Good, good. I'm
Damien
glad you can
Goes.
get to experience that. Yes.
Yeah, I'm like deep breaths, like whew, yeah, it's just again, it's something very pure, and not to kind of minimize it by saying this, but it's almost like kind of like a dog or a cat, because they're very similar in that way that they're like
Hmm.
the thing that they really want from you is food. They don't really care about, and realistically, they could get food on their own if they wanted
If
to.
they wanted to.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's that kind of unadulterated love, kind
Yes.
of unadulterated appreciation.
Hmm.
So I will say, don't run out and try and get hugs from kids because that's weird. But if
But let
one,
them come to you.
yeah, that seems a little
Pure
much.
joy. Pure
Right.
joy. Yes.
I just need to be specific out here because this conversation could go from joy to
To
really
something else.
yes, we don't. So, but love, this idea of holding and being close and intimacy, intimacy
Hmm.
is the one. I just made this joke about like my heart melting with the ice surrounding around it.
Hmm.
It's like you can be intimate in a non-sexual way. You
Oh, for
know,
sure. But
making
that's the best intimacy.
that's the right. That's so good.
Hmm.
Have you ever like do you struggle to make eye contact with people? How do you feel about that?
I'm always making eye contact.
Ooh.
Always. I'm always this. Aside from acting and modeling, I do sales.
That's not in
I
the bio. That's not in the bio.
I often leave it out because people conjure up an idea of you the moment you say that word, and it's not who I am. That negative connotation that they often associate with it. um, so if you cannot sell a thing if you can't look somebody in the eye.
Mm,
You gotta look somebody, you gotta connect with them on a different level. You have to sell yourself first, and that's not in a bad way. They have to buy into you, who you are, so
mm,
they can believe what you're saying, and then buy into what you have to sell them. You know, so eye contact, and I've always been that way. You gotta pay attention to people because a lot of things that are not vocalized are definitely said with the eyes. If you're paying close attention, you will see it. You will see it. The lids come down a little more.
mm.
Do they get a little,
I feel
this
like you're
way?
describing my eyes right
No, no, but because you'll read things that people won't necessarily say, and you
now.
will see it. Or when you look at them and they can't look back at you, they can't do the same.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean that's a great way to tell if somebody is lying too. But anyway,
Pro tip.
the sin- that's sincerity one. That's sincerity. One on one sincerity, like staring somebody in the eye. Eye contact, important.
Absolutely. And I'm actually the same way. The only time I don't look at a person is when I'm like thinking. You'll notice if like it's my turn to respond, I'll be like, huh, thoughts, where are they? Looking for them. But then I come right back and it's you and me. You know what I mean? You and me,
Hmm.
all these wonderful people who are telling you that you, my dear, are a queen and also a amazing woman. I totally agree.
Oh,
And a
thank
princess
you,
as well. Oh my goodness.
thank you, thank
Royalty.
you.
Royalty. But yeah, no, eye contact is a big one. I do feel like I almost when a person doesn't want to look me in the eye, and I know that it's not like a lie thing or in like a not confident thing. I almost want to be like, hey, you
It's
good?
okay.
You know,
Hmm.
right? I'm not gonna,
Hmm.
you know, worst come to
Yeah.
you know, and that's like kind of another thing. I was thinking about this today. If I feel like I've spent too much time somewhere, I'll like kind of make up a reason to leave. And it's not so much like a shy thing, it's more like I want to respect a person's space, kind of a,
Mm.
you know? Sometimes people, like you said, they'll communicate with their eyes, they'll communicate with their looks.
Hmm.
And that's a whole other thing. I love all these comments that you're saying. Love it.
Can I just say also with the eye contact,
Yeah.
everybody else disappears. If I'm talking to you
Ah, yes.
and I'm staring at you, I'm looking at you only. Nobody else matter. I have blinkers on. So again, we're back to that feeling valued. We're back to that feeling important, feeling like you genuinely are listening. Because there's the act of hearing and then there's listening. You know, there's hearing and then there's the act of listening. So am I interested in what you have to say? Am I trying to comprehend what you have to say? Or am I just letting you talk? Because I have like 5 minutes. Let me just say, okay. You know,
It's like, yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the sincerity. It's the sincerity. Yeah.
No,
When you
there.
look somebody in the eye.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that. It goes back to what you were saying before about this reciprocity. You know what I mean? It's like there's the type of a person who will talk and they're trying to be heard, and they'll completely lose sight of the idea that if you want to be recognized, you can listen too.
Too.
You know? That's kind of how it works. Like a conversation is a take and give, when you're talking at somebody, nobody likes that, to be talking at. It's like this whole episode, you were just like,
Okay.
is it my turn yet? Is it my turn?
Can I go now?
Right. And it really has been my honor to have people who have like the whole hour to have a conversation for an hour and to know that it's going to be like a whole hour. That's intense, it's intense. And so I
That's
feel
fine.
like,
But you know what? You're easy to talk to.
yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. You're easy to talk to. I feel bad if I like don't even give a person the time I think that they deserve. Like when you called me after like one of the last episodes and I was like, I was just about to eat dinner. It like, if it wasn't food, I 100% would have got it. But it really like, there was this part of my soul that was just like, do not say goodbye soon, because I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to give you that of the conversations we had. And it's like, it killed me.
That was a really good episode, by the way.
Was it with Laura from My Father's List? I think it was.
What was that? Who it was? And I don't remember who she was, but yeah, she read you, and I loved it.
Oh,
I loved it.
oh no! You know what? No. It was my English teacher. That's who it was.
Yes, it's somebody who knew you for years. Yeah.
Yeah, she knew me since I was a wee child in high school, trying to figure out my way.
Saw you getting very vulnerable on there, and I'm just like, oh, this is you and beautiful.
Yeah, composure, I'm actually really shy. Like, people really think that I'm this super outgoing person. Like, on the inside, I'm really just like
Mr. Mysterious, huh?
if that's how people want to interpret it, I'm into it too, I'm cool with that. I love the way that like this conversation has also embodied joy, because we have literally complimented each other probably hundreds of times now. And this, I'm not even going to call this an episode. I'm going to call it a tutorial.
Ooh.
Tutorial.
Honey.
Yes. This is
honey.
a tutorial on joy and reciprocity. Yeah. Because, folks, this is how you do it. This is how you do it. You see those red lips, say, "Ooh, I like that color on you." You see those earrings, like, look at that thing swang. You look at that top, you're like, "Ooh, is that Dior?" She says no, and you're just like, "Girl, it looks like it could be." Boom. There it is.
Boom, there it is.
Oh my God, wait. Oh my God, you were talking about dance. Dance? All right, try and be depressed dancing. I promise
no
you
way.
it's impossible. It is impossible.
Oh yeah.
Put on Hammer Time. Put on even Baby Shark. People go
Oh
crazy
my
for
god.
Baby Shark. They love the shark. I don't know what it is. It's not my jam, but people love the Baby Shark.
Whatever floats your boat, okay? From WAP to Beethoven, okay?
That's what I'm saying. WAP might
Yeah.
do it for you. I personally don't relate, but that's because it's not for me, you know.
Not for me either. But hey, if that's what floats your boat, this is Adrift, right? If that's what floats your boat.
I might be adrift in a WAP one day. I don't know. It all works. I'm sorry, you laid it out for me. I took it. Maybe it was graphic.
It's okay. It's okay.
I love how on YouTube when I upload these videos, it asks me, "Is this episode appropriate for children?" And I always have to think about it. I'm like, I want to say yes because I think there's the basic information, right? I feel like there's moments, but then there's also a joke like the one that I just made, and that's not for the kids.
But you know what? It goes right over their heads.
Okay, crazy question. How old is your son, Caleb?
Caleb is 4.
Caleb. I always go with this soft A, the Caleb, but yes, Caleb.
With a little schwa at the end. Yes.
Ooh. All right, let's say Caleb turns 10, right? Let's say he's already 10.
Okay.
Would you let him watch Adrift?
Oh, for sure.
Really? Really?
I'm kidding. Yes.
Right. That's what I thought. Also, his tagline, adrift in a WAP. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Not adrift in a moment.
Oh geez. Where my mind just went after reading that, I don't know. Yeah.
Again, not for everybody, but
not for everybody.
Also, Matt, welcome. For those who are just joining us, we're laughing a lot, and it's good.
Yes.
Oh my God! Wait, hold on. I'm so sorry to interrupt. It is literally 7:58. We laughed for an hour straight.
Oh my God! Is it over? No way!
Yeah. Episode 20. No, seriously, yeah. So about 2 minutes left. I just thank you so much. You know, wow. Is it over? Is it really over? I'm 1 second. I'm not done. So much joy.
Aww.
That's joy.
That's joy. My father. That's right.
Yeah. Just it always ends too soon. That's another thing. When you're happy and you're having a great time just flies
time goes, yeah, that's right.
So you know what? Maybe people who are miserable, they have an answer we don't have. Hate your life. And time will go by slow. You'll age slowly. You know? There's something to that.
Remember to smile.
Or remember. You'll age quicker.
Always remember. I'd rather get laugh lines than crow's feet. You know?
Right. Yeah. No, so guys, thank you so much. I mean, 20 episodes. I really have to thank everybody who's ever been on the show. Thank you so much, Calema, for being on here today, for sharing your love, sharing your light, you know?
My absolute pleasure. Listen, and congratulations to you. When this started, I was like, oh, this is interesting. Let me give it a listen. And you kept going and going and going and it does a bunny. And I'm like, okay, Mr. Stick-to-Itive. Okay, Mr. All right. And I love it. And they've all been so great. You've had some wonderful people on, and I'm very proud of you. I'm absolutely proud of you. Yes, absolutely. Deep thoughts. I absolutely love it. Yeah, very, very proud of you.
Thank you so much. It means a lot to have had the people I've had on, including and especially yourself. It's been wonderful because it's been about connectivity. And if there's anything that I hope that you guys have gathered in these episodes, it's just that, you know, not just remember to smile, but just remember we're in this together. You know, remember that it's not about this community or that community. We are all one big community, you know, like
Mhm.
get together and be all right. You know what I mean?
Let's get together and feel alright.
Beautiful. So here we are on the last 20 seconds. Everybody, I love you so much. Season
All
one
right.
is a wrap.
Throw a word that brings you joy. When you think of it, joy comes to mind. Let's end it.
Mozzarella sticks.
Oh my God, yes.
Dude, all right, 5 seconds. Say it, go.
Okay, ice cream?
Yeah!